In a post-apocalyptic world populated with animal and dinosaur-like machines, the human race lives in a tribal society where every day is a struggle for survival. From one of these tribes comes a young hunter known as Aloy, who goes on a journey to discover the secrets of her identity. Along the way, she unlocks the mysteries of the world's past and unearths the devastating future that lies ahead. Join us as we follow Aloy on her quest to overcome her status as an outcast and transform into the greatest hero of her time. Aloy's story begins in the 31st century, where she lives in a post-apocalyptic world in the western region of the United States. Society has returned to a primitive state where small groups of people live in scattered, segregated tribes. In this world, most animal species have been wiped out, and new metallic creatures now roam the land. These creatures are artificially intelligent robots known as machines that look and act like their extinct counterparts. They range from horses to hyenas to saber-toothed tigers and baronics. Though these creatures can be quite massive in size, they have lived in peace amongst humans for hundreds of years, only attacking when they feel threatened. Humans hunt these creatures using their parts for various purposes, including metalworking and to obtain more advanced weaponry. No one knows how the world came to be as it is, and no one knows much about the way the world was before. Aloy is an outcast of the Nora tribe, people made of fierce hunter-gatherers ruling in the mountains and ruled by a matriarch system who worships a deity known as the All-Mother, a mountain they believe sustains all life. The High Matriarchs find infant Aloy alone inside their mountain shrine, having been born into the world without a mother. Most of the Nora view her as a curse and want absolutely nothing to do with her. But not being completely heartless, the Matriarchs give the child to the outcast Rost, who raises her as his daughter, instead of tossing her off the edge of a cliff, Spartan style. Growing up, Aloy struggles to understand her place in the world. As an outcast, she is not allowed to mix or speak with the Nora, nor are they allowed to interact with her, but it doesn't stop her from trying. Aloy grows into a stubborn and willful child who refuses to accept life as it is. She tries to find acceptance into the Nora, but all her attempts fail and she finds herself the victim of ridicule and ostracism time and again. After one of these failed attempts, she goes running blindly into the woods and stumbles upon a cave where she discovers a relic called the Focus. This device shows Aloy videos of the old ones, people who lived before the apocalypse. It provides insight into the machines and other elements in Aloy's surroundings. Rost finds Aloy with the device and tries to get her to hand it over because anything used by the old ones is considered very dangerous. The Nora knew little about the world before, but they knew that the old ones were responsible for their own demise, and anything left of their time known as the metal world was forbidden. Aloy refuses to hand over her new toy, and Ross chooses not to force it from her. Instead, he accepts that he's raising a headstrong child who needs to learn how to survive on her own before, her curious tendencies get her killed. During her training, she uses the Focus to save a young man's life, who then tries to thank Aloy but is silenced by his father, who shows Aloy his appreciation by calling her a motherless. Incredibly upset by this encounter, Aloy heads for home and ahead of Ross. Along the way, a child throws a rock at her and insults her, calling her no mother. Absolutely fed up with being an outcast, Aloy argues with Ross for answers. Believing the matriarchs hold the knowledge of her past, Aloy begs Ross to explain how to get that information from them. He tells her that she must win at the Proving, the tribe's rite of passage. Winning would make her a member of the tribe and she will receive a boon from the matriarchs, meaning they will grant Aloy whatever she requests. Rost warns Aloy that in order to win, she will have to endure years of training. Excited to learn there's a way for her to become a member of the tribe and discover the truth of her birth, Aloy sets to training immediately. To pass the Proving, Nora must take down a grazer and loot its carcass to find a trophy. Then, they must pass through the Brave Trail, a dangerous mountain pass. Whoever makes it to the top of the mountain with the trophy first is declared the winner. Aloy dedicates her life to winning the Proving and spends the next 12 years training. 2 days before the proving, Ross explains to Aloy the role of a brave, a title given to the person who passes the proving. They must serve the tribe as a defender and a hunter. As Aloy makes her way to the trial, Ross tells her he's going away, so she won't risk her status as a member of the tribe by talking to him after she becomes a member of the Nora. Though the odds are stacked against her, Aloy wins at the proving. But as her acceptance into the tribe is announced, her people are attacked by a group of masked outsiders. Aloy rallies all the Nora to fight these intruders, but these men wipe out almost everyone on the mountain. After the survivors escape, Aloy fights them off as best as she can, acquiring a focus off of one of them before getting caught. Ross appears just in time to save Aloy, but dies in the process. After the attack, the matriarchs take Aloy inside the sacred mountain. Inside, she uses the focus she found to learn more about the attackers. In doing so, she finds a record of a woman who looks like her, but much older. Aloy makes this connection that this woman must be her mother. The matriarch Tirsa explains to Aloy that she was birthed by the mountain. She takes her to a great room called the Great Chamber where they found her. Inside the Great Chamber, Aloy reveals the All-Mother goddess to be a door, but she is unable to get inside. To find out who she is and why her people were attacked, Aloy must leave the Nora's sacred lands. To do so, Tirsa gives her the title of Seeker, allowing her to come and go from the land. On her journey, Aloy discovers other tribes and realizes there's much greater world beyond her own. She befriends many people along the way, including a man named Silence, a member of the tribe that attacked her people after the proving, the Eclipse. After being betrayed by the Eclipse, Silence joins forces with Aloy and helps her discover the secrets of her past, so he can learn the truth behind the machines and the fate of the old ones. But Aloy discovers more than she had bargained for. She turns out to be the clone of a woman named Elizabeth Sobek, an American scientist, robotist, engineer, and savior of the world. Dr. Sobek spent her life trying to reverse the impact of global warming. But in the late 21st century, a massive group of AI robots called the Sharo Line, built to be peacekeepers to stop countries from waging war, went rogue. These robots became known as the Pharaoh Swarm. Dr. Sobek gets called in by the robot's creator, Ted Pharaoh, to stop them. But she discovers the robots are unstoppable and will destroy all life on Earth within 15 months. Dr. Sobek focuses on creating Zero Dawn, an automated terraforming system built to shut down the robots and repopulate the planet. She names the core of Zero Dawn Gaia, an AI system that gives it multiple sub-functions responsible for different aspects of restoring the planet. 100 years after all life was destroyed, Gaia discovers how to shut down the swarm, putting them into a state of dormancy. Slowly, Gaia begins to bring life back, first in the form of different machines modeled off of former animal life to purify the Earth's toxic atmosphere and biosphere, while slowly reintroducing organic humans and animals. However, Gaia gets tampered with by an unknown source from outer space, causing all the sub-functions to become self-aware AIs. One of these sub-functions, Hades, gains a severe disdain for life and fixates on destroying all life again. To stop Hades, Gaia creates a clone of Dr. Sobek so she can rebuild Gaia and stop Hades. After cloning Dr. Sobek, Gaia sets itself to self-destruct, halting Hades for now. Having Dr. Sobek's DNA, Aloy gains access to all old world facilities so she can eventually get Gaia up and running again. At first, Aloy struggles with the realization that she's a clone of another person, feeling like she's just a tool created by a machine. But she discovers Hades hadn't stopped for long. Before Gaia could self-destruct, Hades created a virus that would reawaken him and many of its rogue machines, and planned to send a signal back to the unknown source out in space. Aloy's new mission is the destruction of Hades. She gathers people from all the different tribes to fight it and its army of rogue robots, and together they stop the second destruction of life on Earth. After learning all about Dr. Sobek, Gaia, and saving the world, Aloy comes to terms with who she is, realizing her purpose in life was far more vital than she could have ever imagined. Aloy starts out as a person struggling with an identity crisis, enduring isolation, rejection, and shame. She grapples with questions about who she is while fighting to find acceptance among the people who should have been her family. In the end, Aloy discovers her strength and worth, recognizing that the acceptance of others does not define who she is. Instead, she forges her own path, embracing her individuality and the power that comes from within.